So in this video, I'm going to show you how we can use Bootstrap to add a menu, drop downs and drop ups like this one to be able to, like, when you click on a button or link, to bring up some actions that you can interact with. To do that, you can take a look at some of the examples that Bootstrap has. If you go to getbootstrap.com and then components, under there you can see that there's one of the selections that allow you to show you how to implement drop downs or drop ups, or you combine them with action buttons and some drop downs underneath. So for instance, we have here a drop up. See that? We can do that and combine them that way, right? So let's maybe grab one of these examples, and so let's see what we have here. We have a button group, button in the action. Where's a drop? Where is it? Drop up. Okay, here's a drop up, and we can just grab some of this, one of these examples, right? Just copy it, right, and just bring it over. We're going to bring it over onto an example that we already have. We already have this example that I've been working in previous videos, and we want to replace this static icon here, this link over here that doesn't do anything. We're going to replace it with something like this that has like a scroll icon, up down scroll icon, right? And then have this drop up. So we're going to get started from this example here. We're going to just copy this from the previous example, and just so we can keep working on it. So it's this one over here. Let's copy it, and we'll call it drop up link. We'll say OK, and let's open it up here. I think it's drop up link. Okay, there we go. Okay, so this is the same example we had earlier, but we're going to modify it a little bit. And so we're gonna do it by copying this and replacing that star. Let's look at that star. There we go, that star. So instead of this star here, we're gonna remove that. Let's make sure that we removed it successfully. There we go. The star's not there anymore. Instead, we're gonna add this button. So if we replace, notice that the button is there. We have the button, we have the drop up, but we don't really want the button, right? We don't really care about the button. We really want a the glyphicon. Also, the example we copied didn't have the line item, so let's copy the line item from somewhere here. For instance, let's maybe grab this one right here. Just a couple of these. And let's paste this here. Paste this. Let's see if this works. So now if I click on it, notice that it's not working, right? And the reason it's not working is that these widgets need the Bootstrap JavaScript to be loaded. And the Bootstrap JavaScript, I already have it here. There it is. Bootstrap JS comes with the distribution, the Bootstrap distribution when you download the Bootstrap library. So let's load that into place here from at the top of the page. We can say script. We can say source is equal to, let's go up 1, twice, 3 times JavaScript, and Bootstrap should be there. There it is. Let's close that. All right. And if I refresh now, notice that it still doesn't work. It still doesn't work. And the reason is that Bootstrap actually depends on another library, and it depends on the jQuery library. So you need to first load the jQuery library before you load the Bootstrap library. Now, jQuery is a a very common JavaScript library that is used on most browser side, client side development. So chances are that you will be using jQuery nevertheless. So let's load jQuery as well. And I have separate videos that cover jQuery in depth. But for now, just to know that for the Bootstrap JavaScript to work, it assumes that you already have jQuery loaded, right? So if we come back and refresh our page, it still doesn't work. What's going on? What is it missing? Let's go to inspect. The console, JavaScript requires jQuery. Yeah, we loaded it. Is it jQuery? Is it not loaded? Oh, did I spell this wrong? SRC. There we go. Let's try that again. There we go. So we have our links here, but we don't want it to render this way, right? We want it to render like one of these icons here. So let's go back to the drop down, okay? And this changes a little bit. First of all, we don't want this drop up over here. So we don't want the button at all. And then this button, we don't want it to be a button. We want it to be a hyperlink. It is not a type button, right? We don't want it to render as a button. We are going to leave the drop-down toggle. We're going to leave the data toggle drop-down. That we want. The area, we don't want that. The caret, we don't want that either. We do want we want this as one of the glyphicons. So we'll say that we want the glyphicon, and this is for sorting, right? So this is glyphicon, and then I think there's one. Okay, I think it's called sort. There we go. And we don't want any text. So if we replace, there we go. We have the sorting icon, and when we close it, we click on it, the menu appears. The selections we might want here is to be able to sort ascending, right? We might want also sort descending, right? And then maybe a divider. There's a divider that allows you to group together certain categories of selections, right? This one might allow you to say the way you want to sort, right? By what criteria you want to sort. You want to sort, by name, right? Maybe you want to sort by date created, maybe sort by date modified, right? And so if we click on it, notice that we have those options showing. We might want to add also some like check marks, right, to illustrate the prior selections, right? What does it remember of what modality is it working, right? So what we could do is that as part of this link here, right, we could add here perhaps a span with a glyphicon. So span class, let's say maybe this is glyphicon, and then glyphicon OK. That's, I believe that's the check mark. Right. So if we refresh there and we click on that, okay, so it's sorting. It's all right. So it's adding that, but it looks like it's not exactly what we wanted. So probably make it part of the text itself. Perhaps let's try that. If we click on that, all right. So that's better. But typically you might want to render, perhaps to the right of all the content, so that if you have several checkboxes, they're easily visual render on the right hand side of like a separate column. So we can do that by maybe putting a pull right. Okay, so that renders it on the right hand side, and maybe we can have several of these that says that it is sorting ascending and it is sorting by name. There it is. So sorting ascending and sort by name. right now, actually selecting something doesn't do anything, right? This is all hard-coded. To do that, we'll need to add controllers and all sorts of JavaScript logic to be able to respond accordingly and change the overall model, data model that represents whatever is displayed here. Okay, so yeah, so in this video we've shown you how to create a drop down, or this would be a drop up, to display menus using Bootstrap, JavaScript, and jQuery.